And people said, how do you beat an Obstagoon? Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you'll know that I'm a big fan of Shadow Banette since the very early seasons of, even the preseason of GBL actually. I think I was probably one of the first few people, if not the first person to popularize Shadow Banette and use it consistently in GBL. I was able to even climb the leaderboard with it in Season 1, but with the onset of XL Pokemon, it's made it a little bit harder to run. Obviously, things like Obstagoon and Scrafty have also been introduced to make it a little bit harder, but I was determined to try to make it work again, and I decided to make a variation of my Bastiodon double Ghost line that I ran into Interlude season. I decided to run it with a Registeel in the lead instead. This gave me a little bit more flexibility in some of those matchups, and I think for the most part, I've done as best as I could running this team. Overall, it's a ton of fun to play, and there's a lot of games where you end up just sweeping or cleaning up the entire backline with Shadow Banette. And a lot of people are like, oh, what do you do against Obstagoons or Scrafties? Scrafty is actually pretty easy to handle in my opinion. Obstagoon is super hard, but I was actually able to beat about a little more than half the Obstagoons I faced, especially in the lead, even when they spent 2 shields. So to kick out this video, I'm going to show a clip from my Patreon stream where I faced the first Obstagoon during the season running this team. Before we get into the rest of the footage, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the link down below. It's a good way to lure out Sableye, right? Oh, this is terrible. I think I win the 0 shields here, but this whole thing beats my team. So, yeah. There is that. There is that. Jeez. Alright, well, what a start to the stream. Well, there is a slight chance I could win this, and that requires me landing a Focus Blast here. Oh, okay. Don't love that. So they have to throw the energy here, but yikes, this is bad. Okay. I should probably put Dark Bolts on this thing. I don't know, Psychic's not... No, I guess Psychic's okay. I don't know. So they're coming back in with Obstagoon. Yeah, this is the problem with this. I should be really careful when I throw that Focus Blast, I think. I can't do anything here. I had to get the 2 Thunders here somehow. Alright, so best case scenario, I could bait with the Shadow Ball. Okay, they have 2. It's not good. Can we catch one? No. Should we risk the catch here? Oh, let's go. Okay. There's a chance. There's a chance we could beat an Obstagoon here, which would be great. Under charge. 1. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is not going to be easy. Do we get to the Thunder? That is the question. Dude, beating an Obstagoon with a triple weak to Obstagoon team. Oh, we get to it! Oh, baby, let's go. Oh, man. Oh, that's a good feeling. Oh, let's go. What a way to start off the stream. All right. Running a Registeel into another Registeel. This is kind of an interesting matchup. It's hard to say exactly what's in the back here. Sometimes they have their own ghost. So I like to try to catch a Focus Blast if possible. Even if I don't catch it, I can shield the Zap Cannon. It's a lot of energy they waste there. And on top of that, Shadow Banette still hits very hard even when debuffed. So the debuff actually doesn't hurt too much. It's a valuable shield that you usually get back with the Shadow Banette. But after catching a Focus Blast, obviously I get Shadow Claw down. So that's not the greatest spot to be in. But we got the Sableye out of the picture, which is going to be really good because now we can hopefully clean up with the Kofa here. So I assume they come back in Registeel, and here it comes. And then, oh, my cat is not a fan today. Anyway, you all can enjoy checking in the back there on the cat tree. So Kofa is not too bad against Registeel just because you still do a lot of damage with those Shadow Balls. And now here comes the Azumarill. Unfortunately, I am debuffed here, so these Shadow Balls are not going to hurt nearly as much. And I end up shielding here. Could be a big move. It ends up being Hydro Pump, so that's actually pretty big. And then now I'm going to swap to my Registeel here to try to clear the debuff. And as you can see here, I'm going to maximize my energy here, and they actually shield it, and I get to another Shadow Ball just in time, which is huge. And I just need to take out this Registeel. But again, it is building up energy quick. If this is a Focus Blast, I'm in luck, and it ends up being a Focus Blast. So getting hit by 2 Focus Blasts on 2 separate ghosts in this match, they just couldn't get to Zap Cannon. I think that was the right call by them because they knew they couldn't get to another move in time. All right, so now we have an Umbreon lead. Umbreon lead is actually really solid for this team because it's a good matchup for Registeel, but most importantly, you get rid of one of the hardest checks to Shadow Banette and Kofa here. Umbreon is one of those Pokemon where even if you have an energy lead on Banette, you just can't overcome it, you know. And there's a lot of Pokemon that Shadow Banette is really good at with energy lead, but Umbreon unfortunately is not one of them. A lot of the other Pokemon just cannot tank the Thunder or even Shadow Ball very well, even when resisted. But Umbreon is one of those. So my opponent is going to come back with Umbreon here. And I still have Shield, so I'm going to let this go, but let's kind of see how they play this out. This Umbreon still adds, the damage actually still adds up quite a bit, so you definitely don't want to stay in too long, and again, you can't really farm too much on Registeel, so I'm just going to try to get rid of it, but they actually shield right there, which is kind of interesting. Another option potentially here is to throw the Zap Cannon, but at this point, I definitely have to shield this just in case I don't get to the move. The most important thing is I need a shield because if they shield that move, then I'm in trouble, right? Because the Banette just cannot take out the Umbreon there with that much health remaining. So my opponent does go straight Poison Fang, and I kind of have to let it go. Have to save my shield here. We go straight for the Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, not enough. And this is going to be a very obvious Poison Fang as well, I believe. Or maybe I'll just call in the bait here. But I know that I need to tank the first one to have any shot here. And resisting that poison damage, even while debuffed, able to get to this last Focus Blast and take out the Nidoqueen. So pretty well played by my opponent there too, because that was actually not a great matchup for them. But they made it quite close, especially with that backline. All right. Shadow Swampert, not a great lead. They come in with Sableye and just farm me down. That's actually really good for my opponent here. So at this point, I just need to get rid of this Sableye and try to win with a 2-to-1 shield advantage with Kofa and whatever they have in the back. So I'm going to go straight for the Focus Blast here, to be honest, because most probably wouldn't spend both their shields here, especially if they have a Shadow Swampert. So that's always something to think about. Doesn't make sense to try to debuff. If it's less energy and you could take them out with the Focus Blast, usually it's better. That way you don't have to like risk getting hit by another charge move or something. And this Skarmory just goes for the Sky Attack, so I'm going to try to take this out. And they no shield, which puts me in a really good spot because I could potentially just farm this down. So let's see kind of how it goes. And then that's really good for me. I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball. You could potentially go for the Psychic for the debuff chance, but just kind of not worth it, especially the no shield, which is exactly what my opponent did. So it's actually kind of a good call by them because they have to shield something there or let it go. But they chose to let the Shadow Ball go in case it was a Dark Pulse, right? Because that would have been really good if I went there. But I have Psychic, so it's a little different story. Why Psychic over Shadow Ball? There's a couple reasons. Against the Grass Poisons, really good. Against Poisons in general, against Nidoqueen. If you get a Toxicroak, Shadow Ball does pretty much a lot already, but that's another option. But most importantly, you also need something to hit Wigglytuff back with. If you end up in that matchup, Dark Pulse and Shadow Ball just both get walled by Wigglytuff, and so that's not great. But personally speaking, in GBL, I typically like Psychic quite a bit, especially in Great League. In Show 6 formats, it could be a little different, so you gotta tailor it. But as a general coverage, I'm a big fan of Psychic, even though Dark Pulse is a better bait move. Alright, so this is an interesting one. What I usually like to do is I throw my, I stay in, throw the Zap Cannon, and if they shield, I throw another one, obviously. Essentially what I do is I whittle down the Sableye to the point where I can Shadow Claw it down with the Shadow Banette, right? But you want to wait for them to throw the energy so you don't have to spend a shield, because you don't have to shield the Registeel, but you do have to shield the Banette if you get hit by Foul Play. So you want them to be energy dry before you swap, so they can't just get to another Foul Play. So my opponent here is going to play this out, and they play a little differently. So they come in with the Sableye here, and so let's see how they play it out. So they actually shield the Zap Cannon here. So this is going to be an interesting spot, but fortunately they did spend another shield too, so at least one Zap Cannon lands here. I'm going to let this go and hoping that I survive it, and I do. They got a little extra Shadow Claw, but I have to swap right away at this point, and yeah, I actually come in Cofagrigus here. The reason being, I think I don't survive. I think I have to shield a Foul Play if I come in Banette there, because I think I had enough energy, and I don't think I can Shadow Claw it down. So Cofagrigus, I knew I could tank it because the Shadow, or the Sableye was already debuffed twice. Banette would have been a tougher spot because I would have to shield. But you know what I'm setting myself up for? A Shadow Banette sweep. I'm just going to shield this. These Dragon Breaths are going to add up, but Bubble luckily is not doing a ton of damage. So I'm going to get a little extra energy here. Shadow Banette wins CMP against pretty much most things in Great League, so I knew I was going to be in a good spot, and yeah, able to finish off the Azu there. So different ways to play it out, depending on how they play out their Sableye. You see Azu lead and Sableye safe swap quite a bit. Again, another Sableye safe swap, so get really familiar with this matchup if this is the team you want to play. I usually shield the first Foul Play. If they don't throw the Foul Play for some reason, you get the Zap Cannon off first, then you don't really have to shield. But as you can see here, my opponent is going to throw, and we get a little extra energy. They throw again. I know they want to throw this because they don't want to get locked on down. Now I can come in with Banette, get the energy lead, not worry about Foul Play. And this is actually really bad. Diggersby in the back is super bad for my team. It's a hard wall to Banette because I'm not running the Dazzling Gleam moveset. So it's going to double resist the Thunder. It's going to double resist the Shadow Ball. And it's going to resist the Shadow Claws and Shadow Ball from the Kofa here. Yeah, I'm in a really bad spot. So this is the best I could do. And they actually also catch the move on the Ninetales. But I kind of have to throw it because, yeah, otherwise I just lose the charm damage, right? I'm trying to just Shadow Claw this thing down, maybe have 2 Psychics ready, hoping for a debuff, but just not enough juice. So even though the lead was really great, I've seen the team quite a bit. A9 with Sableye safe swap and Diggersby in the back. It's possible like content creator popularized it. I'm just not as familiar right now, so I can't credit someone there. But it's really tough. Diggersby in the back is really tough. So if you have a Diggersby in the lead, though, this is kind of how you play it. Honestly, the only chance to really beat a team with Diggersby is probably in the lead, unless they safe swap the Diggersby right away when your Registeel is full health. Otherwise, it's really tough. All right, so right here, I am going to go for probably aggressive farm down here. No, I just go straight for the Shadow Ball because I don't want to get hit by Fire Punch because it's still going to do a lot of damage. I just want to get rid of that Diggersby as soon as possible. No possibility for them to switch, and now we're in a really good spot. Here's the thing, Diggersby is super strong, super effective against, or triple counters pretty much my entire team. But if you get rid of that Diggersby, there's a good chance your backline is very, very strong against whatever they may have, because Diggersby is meant to counter those ghosts, right? So I'm going to farm up just a little extra, and I'm thinking, all right, they're probably weak to Cofagrigus here if they haven't swapped out, and there's the Metacham, so that's perfect. Going to take super effective from these Shadow Balls, and this puts me in a good spot. And we actually CMP there too, which is nice. Just an Ice Punch, and I can Shadow Claw down. Still have the Registeel healthy there to win it for me. Talonflame is kind of a weird one. Talonflame has the potential to beat the whole team as well, especially when it ramps up damage. But the beauty of Registeel versus Talonflame for the Registeel is you don't have to shield one every move. They have to shield every Zap Cannon. You only have to shield the second Flame Charge. So I'm going to shield this Flame Charge throw a Zap Cannon. This is big because once I throw the Zap Cannon, they're back to being regular damage. So they're not as ramped up, and now they have shields down. And I still have a shield remaining. It's okay if they go Brave Bird. That's not a big deal for me. This is looking kind of dicey though, not gonna lie. Because again, Shadow Banette is not very strong, and they're going for a farm down here. Luckily, they throw their damage, so and they go Play Rough. So my guess is they're running Play Rough and Hydro Pump, which is a little better for me because Ice Beam still does a lot of damage to Banette, but the fact that they don't have that option is nice. So I'm going to farm up quite a bit here. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to Shadow Claw down. I should just commit to it. I end up not, but I throw a Shadow Ball here, takes out the Talonflame. That's pretty nice. And then here comes the Swampert. I'm going to farm up just a little extra. It doesn't really matter because I need to Shadow Claw down this Azu, and we just finished it. So if you've been following my recent TikTok footage, you can see that on that. I'll link my TikTok down below. I've been trying to upload some footage on there, so if you want sneak peeks of my teams I haven't released on YouTube yet, that's definitely the place to check it out. That and Patreon are probably the two spots, but I'll do little sneak peeks here or there on TikTok too. Alright, Scrafty lead. This is really tough, but you pretty much just want the Banette against it right away. It doesn't do too bad because they have to throw Foul Play, and most of them will throw Foul Play. But the Scrafty's still in the back here, so that's not great. But I have a shield advantage, so let's see how we play it out. And it's going to be a Foul Play, which is quite nice for me. And I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball still hurts Scrafty quite a bit. This is why I said Scrafty is not nearly as intimidating as Obstagoon, and the Shadow Claws are only single resisted, so they still add up. I end up letting a Foul Play go, which is not ideal. But I could just shield this Power Punch, farm up a little extra energy. Want to have a little extra energy for the Medicham in case they have like Ice Punch or something. And we get to the Shadow Ball, which is huge. There's a lot of damage. Even high rank one usually could barely survive that. All right. Deoxys Defense. Another one where you just swap straight into Shadow Banette. Shadow Banette with energy lead is very, very scary against most things, including Galarian Stunfisk. But the problem here is if they shield here, it's not really worth shielding. Oh, okay, I guess I shield. Oh, wait, I guess they went for Earthquake. Okay. I was going to say, if they go for Rock Slide, it's a little tougher. I think I want to grab that shield anyway because I could probably get to another Shadow Ball even if it was Rock Slide. But now here comes the Rock Slide, and that's fine. I'm probably just going to let this Earthquake go through because I don't really have a ton of use for Registeel at this point. I'm just going to hope for a Cofagrigus sweep here. The good news here, you got to read the teams, is they don't have a hard check to Ghost. And here's the Registeel. If they had a hard check to Ghost like an Umbreon or Dark Poison, Obstagoon, Scrafty, whatever, they would have came in with that into the Banette. So that means that my Cofagrigus probably has a lot of play against whatever they have in the back because their best Ghost counter was a G-Fizz, and that's not the best Ghost counter, right? So I knew that if I just save a shield for Cofagrigus, I would have a lot of potential here. And I didn't really want to swap here, even though I'm debuffed. I'd rather stay and do the damage because I don't want them to over-farm my Registeel, especially because it's low on health. And here they come in with another Psycho Boost. Yeah, and then, sorry, I was just getting a phone call. We able to finish it off there. All right. Araquanid here, they actually come in with a Registeel, and I just think the Zap Cannon does quite a bit. They had to throw 2 Zap Cannons here, so I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball right away and see how they want to play this out. They let it go, so that's good. So I maintain switch advantage here, but they come in Sableye. Sableye is really not great for my team, especially with the energy lead. And typically speaking, I have the energy lead on the Registeel, or I'm even on energy because they safe swap it, but Sableye with energy lead is not great here. Alright, so we are going to just throw these Zap Cannons. They can't, if they want to catch, that's fine. It's not really great for them to catch a Zap Cannon on the Araquanid, and now they come in with the Araquanid here. So it does a lot of damage. I'm looking to potentially swap and catch a Bug Buzz, and let's see if it is or not. And it is a Bug Buzz. Catching a Bug Buzz on Shadow Banette always feels good. Getting a lot of energy there, which is huge, because now I just Shadow Ball, I Shadow Claw, do as much damage as possible. They shield it. I knew I was going to win CMP, and I have the Zap Cannon ready and still shield remaining, and yeah, able to win it right there. So big Bug Buzz catch there, which definitely helped me a lot in that matchup. Alright, Altaria, really solid, but again, when they come in the Sableye safe swap, you always are like, yeah, I won the lead really well, but it's still not a great spot to be in, right? So Save by Save Saw is very common, so you have to understand how to play that out. Again, shield the first foul play. They shield the Zap Cannon, that's fine. If they want to commit 2 shields here, it gets a little dicey, but it's manageable. So we're going to throw the second Zap Cannon. Should be able to get off a third if they don't shield. Now I come in after they throw the energy on the Banette, get a slight energy lead. Exactly right here. They can't throw a foul play. And now I could probably get a shield from this Altaria, which is always good. And if not, I almost KO it, which is fine. So they are going to shield there. This is a tough spot now because they have an NG on here and they could take out the Registeel. So I should come in with Cofagrigus here. I choose not to shield here. I think I just didn't want them to farm down my Registeel, or maybe I could save it for a catch here. So they are going to throw 2 Sky Attacks here. Not great for me. And then now they come in with their own Registeel. Again, Cofagrigus versus Registeel is not terrible here. So, you know, you still do a good chunk of damage, especially with this much of an NG lead. But 1 Zap Cannon here will be disastrous for me, and that's exactly what happens. I go for a farm down, and who says IVs do not matter? They certainly do. I have a very solidly ranked Registeel IV for Great League that I traded, and that made all the difference in farming down the opposing one and getting to Zapcan. So really close matchup there, but able to make it work. All right, Shadow Victreebel. Shadow Victreebel is... You would think it's a good matchup, but the problem is these race leagues still really add up, which is why I shielded there. If they double shield this, I'm just going to come in Cofagrigus here, and that's exactly what I do here. I can no shield at this point, but Shadow Victreebel is actually kind of tough because it does a lot of neutral damage against the Cofagrigus and the Shadow Banette. And as you can see, even against the Registeel, it still does work, and that's why I swapped there, because no one typically stays in a matchup like that, like a bad matchup, unless they're also weak to Registeel on the back. So I need to lure out whatever is weak in the back, and here it's actually a Bastion. I'm going to just farm it down because I figured I get a little bit better off farming there, and we are able to finish the Victreebel here, and here comes a Jellicent. It kind of seemed like a very obvious Bubble Beam to me at the time, so I just no-shielded. I think they only built up 4 Hexes too. Alright, so this is going to be interesting. I know they're going for another Bubble Beam here. I'm like, maybe I'm regretting this, but they actually throw the energy here, which is nice. I didn't really want to shield it, and here comes the Banette to finish off the job. Alright, and another Obstagoon lead. Obstagoon lead to kick off the stream, and or to kick off the video, and another Obstagoon to close out the video. This is also uploaded on my TikTok, so check it down below if you want to see more footage like this. But again, I've played this team a ton, so I've pretty much figured out how to play almost every matchup here. You want to get both Focus Blasts off here first. If you have to invest a shield here, you pretty much lose. Because unless they don't double shield, most will double shield because they get so much value out of it, right? And they maintain switch advantage and all that stuff. So you want to save both your shields for the Banette. And typically speaking, if you swap out, I tried swapping out before, which you can see in my first game that was on stream. But the problem is I end up getting... I don't remember what happened there. Maybe I didn't swap out, but typically you want to stay in here, and that's something I realized later. And now we have the Bastion here, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Bastion double weak to fighting, and then Obstagoon double weak to fighting. ABA, that's pretty gutsy there. I'm not really sure what they do against fighting leads, but it is what it is. It's been working this for them for a little bit, but not this time. Able to finish off the Shadow Victreebel with the Psychic. Again, Psychic, my preferred moveset on the Cofagrigus. Anyway, if you're a big fan of Shadow Banette or been itching to try it, definitely recommend trying out this team. It's a pretty poorly ranked Pokemon in Great League, and it is definitely very hard to use, so be warned there, but it's a ton of fun, and it's a really good way to kind of learn how to manage your shields and health and energy on different Pokemon, because it takes a lot of precision to play this team. Now, if you want to just play meta, that's fine, it's going to be effective, but if you want to climb in style and have fun, then give it a shot. I highly recommend it. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye.